after that the core, and I have the knowledge on ASP.NET as well. Coming to the cloud, I was a good experience on different cloud services like PaaS, platform as a services. I have good exposure, and software as a services using the function app and logic apps, app services, and using the storage accounts, Cosmos DB, configuring the Cosmos DB, using the service bus, which like whenever is needed in the project, we have implemented. I am the part of the Center of Excellence team as well. Apart from my regular work, and I have to stretch like 2 to 3 hours on the latest technologies to do the POCs and helping to the clients for the problem statement what they are facing the current situation or current project. And coming to the databases, I have a good exposure on SQL Server different versions as well as MongoDB. I do have exposure on Entity Framework and SQL Wrapper ADO.NET. Coming to the UI side, I am very much comfortable with Angular 6.0, HTML5, jQuery as well. Coming to my role is presently, my role is a team lead, and along with doing my task and helping to the team members, and if you need any clarifications from the particular AP car story, we need to discuss with the BAs and we get it more clarity, and we need to do the code reviews and need to check that internal demos after completing the functionality 2 to 3 days, and we need to check that the functionality of the current application, what he is implemented, and whether do we have any deviation. We need to help them to understand, because I have 4.5 years of experience in the current project. I know what is the inflow and outflow, and what are the if you touch some part of the code, it will be impacting of other places. Because of all the things, we do have the internal demos of every 2 to 3 days after completing the demo for each individual team members. Coming to the project, it's a big ERP. It's using for international airports for preparing the food. We have different catering units in each international airport. The customer will contact that our application along with the passenger information and food information, and our catering unit has to prepare the food. For preparing the food, we have to do the inventory management, we have to do the vendor management, where we have to perform on the which flight on which date. We have to do the forecast as well for the next 15 days to get the food items from the vendors. We have to invoice the customers, like in terms of if you say the LATAM unit, LATAM region, they have their own tax policies, and if you see that in North America, they're having their own policies. Like that, we have to implement all the things in a single application. It's a multi-tenant application, has been hosted as a platform as a service. In each region wise, they have the countries, and each country have the different the customers in terms of Lufthansa, Air Canada, Air Asia, Delta, different customers. They will communicate with our application in different ways. We have provided an APIs to consume it for our application. This is what high level. This is it. The application flow.
So Ramu, do you still code, or you are managing the team only?
Yeah, I am an individual contributor, and I can say they have given this role because of I was working as a 4.5 years, right? If something goes wrong, we have to guide them and make them understand the functionality, and we have to do the code review as a 4.5 years guy in the current project. Along with the individual contributor, I am also doing the coding. It's not nothing but do the only management kind of thing. It's a small organization, like 250 members only. We have to do all the cases. We have to do the coding. We have to contribute ourselves in terms of Center of Excellence team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you do your code review, right? So what are the things you look for?
Yeah. we have to focus on two things. One is a technical code review and one is a functional code review. A functional code review we can handle by using the manually itself while showcase the demo like after 1 or 2 days how the functionality is working, whether it is breaking of an existing thing or it is impacting of any other functionality like that. For that the development code review we are using that we are using the different tools like uh, like R Sharper, like Sharper we are using, and we are using I am forgetting the name actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you never do manual code review?
Yeah, manual code review, the user like developer will push the code to the repositories. They will give the pull request ID. Based on the pull request ID, we will check that code review. We will check the manually code review on the branch itself.
Okay. So what things you will see in that code, whether it is good or bad? How will you judge?
Yeah, it is depends on the how the it's, let's say the functionality it has to be performed on the on a calculation of some invoice amount, let's say. Instead of like we do have the code review has to be whether the developer is followed the naming convention or not. That is the first thing. Second thing is which the approaches he is doing. Yeah, like some of the user they are using that like for each loop or something. The for each loop in terms of they're having their own experience. They will implement the code. We can also take that as an input, and we can choose the possibility to convert as an optimizable code. We can also suggest they will use the for instead of for each. If let's say we are considering as a list of an object, instead of doing the for each will be given the more performance wise. We have to consider as a performance point of view as well. One is the naming convention, second one is a performance, and a third one is a reusability. Whether the same functionality can be if you put that common functionality in a common utility.cs file, we can use the common utility whenever there is needed on the different services. Let's say we need to focus about the whether this is a commonly used or this is only for the a particular customer or particular thing. We have to focus on the reusability perspective as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
the
for
tool name is
front-end,
we are using ReSharper for code review, whether the code was optimized, how was the code looks like, and we are using the Sonar Cube. I forgot the names actually. Just now I remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you used Angular JS or Angular 2+?
Angular 6.0 we are using.
Okay, but here it is mentioned like extensively used Angular JS for client-side validation and for asynchronous call server. So is it Angular or Angular JS?
I have 6 months of experience in Angular JS and I have 2 years of experience in Angular 6.0. That is the reason I have mentioned there.
What about source control management system? Which one you are using now?
Online Git repos like Visual Studio, which has been online Visual Studio team services as a Git repos. We are using Azure DevOps.
Okay. Okay, let's start with some questions on the technical side.
Okay.
So how will you rate yourself in C#? You are a full stack developer, right? Or front end? You are mainly into front end.
I can say I am 30% on front end, 70% in the back end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how will you rate yourself into C# and .NET Core and you use .NET Core, right?
Yes, .NET Core microservices using the Kubernetes. Yes.
So you are working with Kubernetes as well?
Yeah.
And you know how to host the microservices in AKS?
Yes.
And how they communicate between each other inside AKS?
Each of the microservice, you mean to say?
Yeah, yeah.
By using the services. We can communicate by using the services internally, like a load balancer. We can also configure it.
Okay. So how will you rate yourself into C# and .NET Core?
Out of 5 or 10?
Yeah, out of 5.
Out of 5, I can give 4.
Okay. So what is the difference between a read-only and constant
Yeah.
variable?
Yeah, basically the read-only is a object specific. Constant is a class specific, I can say. Let's say once the constant is declared, the value has to be assigned itself. It is not going to change for all the objects if you want to create it. It's a constant for entire application for all the objects. If you want to have the read-only field, do you have any question?
No.
Yeah. If a read-only field, if you can declare the read-only field, there is a possibility to change the value in the constructor of a particular while the creation of an object. I can say the read-only is an object specific. The constant is a class specific constants.
So once you declare the read-only fields, can you change it later?
In the constructor itself only we can change it. Otherwise, it is not possible.
Okay. And do you know dependency injection?
Yeah.
So how it works actually internally?
Yeah, internally the DI is one of the class library or some of the framework. It is the responsibility for having the life cycle of the dependency objects. Let's say it has to be do the register, it has to be resolve, it has to be destroy. There is a the predefined methods are there in the dependency framework. Whenever initially we have to register of all the types, and we have to whenever the constructor or the method level, if you require it, if you request it, it will checks the types at the time of declare, right? It will try to give an object based on the types, and also it is trying to do the scope of an object, the object in terms of how when the object can be destroyed based on the scope we have defined it. It is having the some the mechanism to collect that unused objects in terms of based on the scope we have defined in a dependency injection level.
Okay. And why it is used generally?
Generally, if you see that design patterns, there is a creational, structural design patterns and all the things, right? Instead of the developer don't want to creation of an object and destroy of an object or maintenance of an object, the another framework is taking care of the responsibility of creation, destroy, and the maintaining of all the objects. We are going with the dependency injections.
Okay. So what do you mean by garbage collection?
A garbage collection, it is used to collect the unused or unreferenced memory objects. Like there is a objects is created, the reference variable is assigned like stack, and it has to be pointed to the original object, right? It is trying to check the garbage collection is a mechanism to collect the unused or unreferenced memories when they are not using. It has to be happen in the two ways, like the collection, like the gc.collect. If you want to make it as explicitly, it will collect it. Otherwise, the background it will try to collect the garbage collection in the two phases. Based on the operation, based on the given a specific definition of the collection like phases, it will try to collect that unused references.
Okay. Do you know solid principles?
Yeah, solid principles I know.
Okay, so what are the main what they stands for actually?
Yeah, it stands for giving the it's giving the some instruction to the developers. If you want to follow the some the principles to achieve the more performance, more maintainability, and if you want to use this one, we can able to achieve the I can say productivity as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is Liskow's substitution principle?
Yeah. Liskov substitutional principle stating that all the subtypes must be substitutable for a base type. Let's say I have a employee object. If I create an I interface, there is like different types of employee: permanent employee, contract employee, or hourly employee kind of thing. These are the subtypes. The main type is an employee. Like I don't want to create a I can use the base reference to child reference as well, like base object obj equal to new employee or new child employee. In this case, all the subtypes should be substitutable for a base type of an employee. Those principles we can say that Liskov substitutional principle.
Okay. So, how will you make sure that this class will be having single responsibility? So, what things you will look for?
A single responsibility in the sense, if you want to create a class, it has to be do the operations which are related to the particular class itself. Let's say I have a purchase order. It has to be do the purchase orders only, instead of we have the different operation on a purchase orders. Like let's say while we want to create a purchase order, we have to validate those orders. We have to send that email notification for the vendors, which is the make the order itself. In those cases, if you want to define all the PO creation and PO validation and email sending, this is not comes under the single responsibility. It is having the three responsibilities. In these cases, I want to make that a single responsibility. PO creation itself as a separate class. Email sending is a separate class, and the validation it could be in separate class. Then only we can say that single responsibility is satisfied in this case.
Okay. So, let's. Have you worked with Web API?
Yeah.
And what is attribute-based routing?
Yeah, attribute-based routing. We have two types of routing: conventional and attribute-based. I don't want to expose the endpoint, whatever the action method name or controller name itself. I want to hide that what is the exact namings which we are using. I want to give that the endpoints which was the client will communicate. In future, if you want to have the action method is going to be changed or some modification, I don't want to change the endpoint itself. The client will communicate based on the whatever the attribute like the endpoints which has been mentioned as an attribute endpoint. They will be able to use it, even though the action method name is changed or the modification is happened from the services side.
Okay. So, while designing a web API, right, for a particular entity, so how will you design it, the endpoints?
It depends on the we have each one is a separate resources. We have to follow the HTTP webs, whether it is a it is depends on the all the client is requested for a resource. When we can go with the get HTTP webs, whether you want to save that new resource, we will go with the HTTP post, and it is depends on the model creation, and the binding has to be happened by the post method based on the whatever the content negotiation, whether it is an XML or JSON, we have to specify in the application start event, application start method. And if it is a post one, it has to be checked whether it is a new request. It will try to create it. If it is already there, it is automatically updated. It depends upon the HTTP verbs, and each one is a separate resource. We have to do the Each API is a single responsibility. It has to do some HTTP webs to accept it, whether it is save or update or delete or fetch. We do have the fetch also is there. These are all the points we have to consider it, and we have to develop, and it has to be supported by the content negotiation. Few of the clients they will use the JSON, few of the clients they will use that XML. It has to be supported by the both based on the configuration.
Okay. And what are the response types for a web API?
By default, it's a JSON.
Okay.
Yeah, we can also do that XML. Because if you want to make
format,
yeah.
And the format of the response.
Yes, depends on the accept header. If you want to specify the accept header is application/JSON application.xml, it will return it.
No, that's fine. That's the data type, right? So format of the response, I mean to say. Like how will you format your response to send it back to the client?
Based on the media type headers, we can set it whether it is an XML or JSON. We can also specify the JSON result set by using the new JSON response message from the HTTP response message. I can say I can return it as a from the model or a single object, whether it is a complex object or simple string. We can do that HTTP response message, set the status code and assign the object value, and it will return to the HTTP response message to the clients.
Okay. And how do you handle exceptions in web API?
Yeah, we can handle in 3 different ways. One is try catch. Second one is handle error, like exception attribute and exception handlers.
Okay. How will you authenticate and authorize users? Suppose it's a SPA kind of application and it is interacting with web APIs.
Okay.
So how will you do authentication and authorization?
Yeah, we have to use the jar token, and initially the user has to communicate by the client ID, client secret, and the resources. What are the resources he is having an access? I will provide that access token and the refresh token. Access token it will have some expiry date. What are the audience? What are the audience, and what is the claims, and what are the scopes is having the particular token. We will be validated by using the jar token, and it will validate it, and it will return to the response to the user.
Okay, and what are the parts of a JWT token?
Yeah, header, payload, and signature. Signature is having some private key. It has to be saved in the server. It has to be validated at the time of receiving. Once the client is requested the bearer token, and we'll take that bearer token. It will validate whether the signature is malicious or it is modified by someone. Based on the signature, we do have the different validation. We can check it as JW token handler, like claim is validated, or the token is expired, or different ways we can validate. By default, it is going to be verified the signature. Whatever the signature is there in the, we can get that key and we'll compare it internally. It will checks and it will return success or response based on the checks.
Okay. So you work with microservices as well, right?
Yes.
So what is a microservice architecture? Basically, when you will go for a microservice architecture?
Yeah, basically microservice architecture, each microservice has the single responsibility. It has to follow the single responsibility, and if there is a need of communicating between the two microservices, we have to go with the intra communication or some service bus architecture. Basically the major advantage of microservices, if you go with the monolith application, if something goes wrong on a particular module, we have to down that entire application. We have to do the alteration. It has to be taken some time. Instead of going that way, if we develop as each module as a service, these services, something goes down on a specific service, we can down the service, we can up it in next 30 minutes. It will not affect the other services. Other users might be using the services. Once the current the failed services is up, we will use that RabbitMQ mechanism to get that messages until the messages will be saved into the queue if needed on intra communication. Otherwise, it will be the 30% of the user will wait and 70% of the user remaining use for the different modules, even though current module is not working. I can say it's a easy to scale, easy to maintenance, and easy to achieve the. If you want to make a multiple cores, multiple instance at the same time, it is possible by using the microservices.
Okay. And you have worked with Angular as well, right?
Yes.
So, can you please share me your desktop or notepad something? So I just want to see a simple component, how this component structures in Angular.
Okay.
What are the main things you will see when you will design a component?
And we have a decorator.
Okay.
Component is a decorator. Everything is in terms of the decorator. We have to use those decorator. And here we have a template URL. In the template URL, we can specify that what are the HTML component we have, and style URLs. Here we can specify the array of the styles which we want to apply as a style for a particular component.
Okay.
Yeah. Template URL, style URL, and name of the component. I can say the name is some test component. Here it has to be init. Based on the lifecycle hook, it is try to do it. Like here we can perform as it is an export class. If you want to include it anyway, it has to be do the export component. Yeah, here we can do the operations in terms of like ng submit. Like here we can do the events in terms of methods. Will communicate component.html and using the services here.
Okay, and if there is a service called HTTP, any HTTP service you created and you want to inject it here, then how will you go for it?
Yeah, we have
how will you define that service and how will you inject it?
Private IHTTP HTTP service obj. Let's say we have a constructor, right? Constructor. We have to inject these services. Because these HTTP services has to be injectable. Otherwise, it is not possible to index in the constructor itself.
Okay.
Yeah. This dot obj equal to obj. Like this way, we have the access of object here. We can able to use in the particular components all the methods.
Okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's switch to Azure then. What services you have used in Azure? Yeah,
I have used app services like function app. Some like more times like Logic app. We have used the storages containers, block storage, table storage. I have used the Azure Service Bus and App Insights. We do have used by using the load balancer for one of my MVC application.
Okay.
Yeah. We have used the databases SQL Server dedicated instance.
How will you secure the configuration, like application configurations are there, right? Connection strings and all. So how will you
Okay. By using Azure Key Vaults, we have also used the Azure Key Vault. We have saved our information, secured information as a secret keys. In .NET Core app configuration, we have like configure.app configure app application configuration method. We can also use that the provider Azure Key Vault service provider, and using the identity, we will get that we will be able to connect that Azure Key Vault based on the configuration config connection string. We will get it and we will use it instead of saving into the app settings.json or like app settings.production.json. Instead of saving those information, we will save into the Azure Key Vaults.
Okay. And caching, you have used any caching techniques?
Means can you elaborate?
Did you use Redis cache or something?
Yeah, cache. We have used the Redis cache in MVC application.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the Redis cache will it will save that based on the unique key. It has to be saved that information as a master data. Instead of going for each and every request has to go to the database, it will go and fetch the data from the database once, and it will cache into the in memory. It will try to give the master data from the cache itself. It will check whether the cache is available in the caching based on the key. It will give it. Otherwise, it will go to the server and it will get it.
Okay. What is a app service plan?
Yeah, app service plan basically it is stating that what is the configuration, what is the the hardware component needed, and what is the RAM and ROM. If you want to scale up or scale out or scale in, it has to be found in the app plan.
So let me put it this way. So if you want to host any web application or web API, so which service you will choose?
It depends on case to case. It is an API service. Like app service. Can you elaborate your question again?
Yeah. So you want me to elaborate it again?
Yeah.
So suppose you have an existing web application which was running on Azure and Windows Server, right?
Okay.
So now you want to take it to cloud. So what are the options available?
We have app service and we have a function apps. But the app service is the better suitable here if it is like a web application including written the view and other things.
Okay. Have you worked with RDBMS also? Any RDBMS?
Yes, SQL Server is I have worked, and MongoDB also. I'm comfortable to work on MongoDB.
So you work with Cosmos DB as well, right?
I have the little bit exposure on Cosmos DB. Yes, it is same like as MongoDB. It will save as the data in terms of a JSON into the table.
So basically, when we will go for NoSQL database?
Yeah, here we have different cases. Let's say in our application, one of the client they will send in terms of a JSON. We don't have the structure, the predefined structure itself. They will send the data in terms of the JSON, what they have it. From the JSON, we will deserialize it and we will save into the some stage table before proceeding to the main table. That is one case. And second case is for each client they are maintaining their own structure, their own schema, like tables or whatever the databases is have, right? In those case, if we don't know how the table structure is and how many columns we have, whether it is a simple structure or complex structure. Instead of those that kind, we will go with the NoSQL like Cosmos DB or MongoDB. We can save it as in terms of input. From input we can take as an input and process it, and we can save into the final our stage table as per our format. It's a kind of mediator. If you don't know this what is exactly structure, in those cases we will go with the Cosmos DB.
Okay. So have you written any stored procedures before?
Yes, we have to.
Okay, so when you will go for a stored procedure and when you will go for only queries in the code?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There is a chance of it is I want to get that the report for last 1 year for all the POs. In these cases, it's a POs related. It has to be involved in the multiple tables like PO table, PO details table, customer table, address table, and whatever the invoice for the particular customer. We do have the different tables are involved. In those cases, if you want to write inline query, it is very difficult to maintain and it is very difficult to understand by the future maintainability perspective. We can do, but if you go with the normal query, it will have the performance implication. Like the same query will be used the multiple clients. It is going to be degrade our application, the database performance. In that case, we will go with the SP and write the stored procedure. One of the client is used the same stored procedure. It will save the query plan or execution plan. And next time onwards, it will not go to the execution plan again. It will check whether do you have the execution plan is there or not. It will take and it will try to optimize it further. The SP is the better one if we have the multiple tables are involved. But if it is a single table, we can go with the inline query or entity framework DB context table name to select and do the link queries operations.
Okay. And what are views? What is the advantage of using views?
Yeah, views basically I don't want to give you a complete access of the table itself. I will give that what are the column is needed by the client. It is providing the better security. I don't want to provide of all the names, and it will save as a the inline query, and we can also try to insert that values. So if it is a simple view, we can also save the view, or we can also use the view to save the records into the table itself.
Sorry, can you please come again? I missed it.
Yeah, the thing is here there are multiple advantages here. One thing is I don't want to expose all the columns in a particular table itself. I don't want to expose the table. There is some financial information, some secret information. Instead of I will give that the view, whatever the columns are needed by the client or the whatever the required columns, I will define the view itself and I can give you, and I can give it to the clients. And second, the advantage of the table is already well defined. In these cases, I want to add 4 more columns instead of because of I have used the same table in entire application. If I want to change that table name itself, it has to be saved. It has to be changed for all the stored procedures and all the other places. In those cases, I can define the view, and the view is like as a say like similar. It will save as a the inline query of a particular column. I can alter the table to perform the new columns, and the view we can same name we can use the like a table name. I don't want to change in the entire application the table name. It is altered itself.
Okay. So the SQL Server instance, whatever you used, it's a cloud instance or normal?
Both we have used. It's not a different application I have worked. I have used on both like cloud instance as well as SaaS as a service. We have create a cluster and a primary and secondary replica, and automatically has to be disaster recovery, highly availability group. We have to configure another database. If something goes down, the secondary is automatically treated as a primary, and it will work as a application without having any impacts.
Okay. And do you have any experience with DevOps pipelines?
I'm not much expertise, but I know because as a lead, I have to help to the other team members like DevOps team members, right? I know how to configure it, and we have a separate team. If chance comes, and I will try to explore more, and I will complete. I can do it.
Okay. And suppose you want to run some unit tests while building the application, right?
Yes.
After building the application, suppose in the pipeline you have to run some unit tests. So
Okay.
how can you achieve that?
I think in the at the time of CI/CD, right? You are talking about
Yeah.
CI/CD.
Or suppose Angular application. Suppose we'll take one example of one Angular SPA.
Mm-hmm.
You want to build and deploy with the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
So which unit testing you use for unit testing?
Mock, we can use mock unit testing.
For Angular applications.
Angular application, I did not get it. Like I said, right? I am not much that exposure. I can able to comfortable to work it. I am not that much of exposure.
Okay.
I know the concept of the specification spec file, but I did not get a chance to test it. Yeah.
Okay then. And yeah, that's pretty much. I'm done with any questions for me?
Yes, Biswadit. Can I know what are the technologies you are looking for, and what is exactly your expectation?
So whatever I have discussed so far, right? So those things you will find in the application again.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things we are using. That's why I was keeping based on these things. So whatever we discussed, Azure, Angular, C#, Web API, Microservices. So these things are there in the. Anything else?
Okay. Yeah. Is the application is already developed or a new application you are developing?
No, there are few parts need to be newly developed.
Okay.
So it's going to be new development.
Okay. No problem. Thanks, Biswadit. I got your comments. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.
Bye.